Hello, Chloe from Veggie Many Feet coming at you from the forest, and I wanted to do a book review today about this one, John Holt, How Children Learn. My delightful sisters sent this to me because they know me so well, and I have been really enjoying reading it and kind of getting a grip on what's wrong with the school system today and what we can do to foster children's natural desire for learning. I would say, if I had to break this book down into 2 words as pertains our relationship with children, it's patience and trust. Or maybe actually trust and patience, because trust comes first. The trust that children and all humans actually, before it gets kind of like pushed out of them by institutions, love the world and they want to make sense of it. They want to know, they're curious, they have this natural inbuilt curiosity, and as long as we are patient with them, then they will find their own ways to make sense of things. And actually all subjects in the school system, like maths, history, geography, science, all of the kind of annoying ones that we don't want to do at school, they actually are useful in real life in certain situations. And as long as children come up against those situations where they actually need to use maths, or they need to use a biology term to figure out why this insect has 6 legs rather than 8 legs, for example, it will inspire them to just kind of go deeper. And where the patience comes in is that they will actually use their own kind of very personalised methods for nutting things out and getting their head round different aspects of the world that they want to make sense of. And when they do, that's probably going to take more time than when they're told how to do it, but at least when they do it on their own, it's going to be then ingrained, and they'll feel that pride of having made sense of the world by themselves without having been told how to do it. And there seems to be a movement kind of growing of people who are just kind of disappointed in parents, who are disappointed in the schooling system because they see how bored their children are. And that is a true travesty, because children, as John Holt says in the book, are naturally creative, naturally curious, and naturally in love with the world. They want to engage, they want to know. Left to their own devices, they'll explore. And I think the really interesting thing in the book is how John Holt compares how when facts are imposed upon us, or ways of thinking, or sums or equations or whatever are imposed upon us from up high, from the giants as he refers to them in the book, children don't know what the point of that learning is. They don't understand the practical application of what they're learning. They just know that they have to learn that in order to not feel embarrassed at school and not feel that they've disappointed the adults in some way. And so it's this kind of authority-led learning that's basically fear-based, because the child will only learn because it knows, he or she knows, that if he or she succeeds, there'll be an exterior reward, like top marks at school that you can take home to your parents and get a lot of praise for. And if they fail, then they'll feel embarrassed in front of their peers and they'll feel like they're no good. So it's really that they strive to learn things out of fear of looking silly. But the child-led way of learning is that much juicier kind of, I want to learn, I need to know why 2 + 2 = 4, the kind of internalized satisfaction that comes from learning something on your own steam, and having wanted to know, being so curious to know, figured it out by hook or by crook, and going through lots of different methods and techniques and exploring, and then finding the answer, and then it's yours. And you've done it from A to Z and nobody's told you you have to learn this and this is how you learn it, and if you don't learn it well then this is the bad thing that's going to happen. And I think that childlike brain of working things out without using exteriorly imposed symbols or methods is actually allows for more creativity and fun and actual really interesting discoveries that you wouldn't have had otherwise if you'd have done it the boring way. I'll just read a little excerpt that I thought summed up John Holt's message quite well. Let me sum up what I've been trying to say about the natural learning style of young children. The child is curious. He wants to make sense out of things, find out how things work, gain competence and control over himself and his environment, do what he can see other people doing. He is open, receptive and perceptive. He does not shut himself off from the strange, confused, complicated world around him. He observes it closely and sharply, tries to take it all in. He is experimental, and he is patient. He can tolerate an extraordinary amount of uncertainty, confusion, ignorance, and suspense. He does not have to have instant meaning in any new situation. He is willing and able to wait for meaning to come to him, even if it comes very slowly, which it usually does. So that's interesting in that, you know, today with the schooling and all of that examinations and everything, it's everything's done in this sort of very fast forward motion, and that goes totally against what John Holt's saying here, that it's really up to the child to find his own rhythm with things, and that when he gets there he'll be all the more proud and his learning will be all the more solid because he hasn't just kind of like gobbled up all the information or been kind of bashed over the head with all of the information in a very short amount of time. Yeah, he says, children love learning and are extremely good at it. On this matter, I have no doubts. So that's it. That's How Children Learn by John Holt. He also wrote another book called How Children Fail, which I think the two probably go together really well, and I'll be getting that one to complete the set. And yeah, my baby is 1 year old, so he's not school age yet, but certainly these early years go so fast, so I'm thinking about what I'm going to put in place for him when he gets to school age. But of course learning starts, you know, from day one. If you've read How Children Learn, then let us know in the comments below what you thought of it. And if you have any book suggestions for me on parenting, I am all ears because I'm making this up as I go along. So any guidance that I can get from enlightened beings such as John Holt does me so much good as a mother, and to feel like I have a better grasp on what to do and what not to do in terms of mothering, and in terms of the choices that I'll make later for my child when he is school age. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want more information about parenting, natural parenting. Wishing you a beautiful day, and we will see you next time on Veggie Magnifique TV. Bye!